Welcome to this edition of Salem on the Move. I'm your host, Mike McLaren. Today, our guest is Mark Shipman. Mark is a partner with the local law firm of Saalfeld Griggs. And today, Mark, you're sitting in a chair in the capacity of being a citizen representative for Bigger Government, No Way, Political Action Committee. And we thank you for being here.
Mike, thanks very much. It's great to be here today.
I wanted to kind of set the stage for our viewers. That may be a new term for a lot of folks viewing about what is a political action committee like Bigger Government No Way up to. Well, Marion County voters will have the opportunity to vote on an issue in the upcoming May election, which actually proposes to expand the governance of Marion County from the current 3 commissioners to 5. Which is a change to the county charter, which has to be done by a vote of the people. Mark, maybe you could start off by giving a little bit of background on how that whole process has come about. Why would there be folks that want to see bigger government at this point in time? And then maybe we can get into some of the reasons that those would oppose bigger government.
Sure, Mike, thanks. It is a ballot measure that's on the ballot for May. And what's interesting about ballot measure 24292 is that it actually changes the governance structure of Marion County fairly significantly. Presently, Marion County is what is considered to be a government by statute. It's one of several counties. In fact, I believe there's approximately 27 counties in the state of Oregon that are governed by statute, and Marion County is one of them. There are the other 9 counties in the state that are governed by what's called a home rule charter. And the statutes allow for counties and for cities, but in this case counties, if they choose to, by election, they can change their governance structure by enacting a charter. And essentially a charter's like a constitution. It's something that has to come in by election. It is not something that's easily changed. And it's something that, frankly, that your viewers should be up to speed on and aware of, because it would have important ramifications to all of us as Marion County residents. What the charter seeks to do is it seeks to put into place this different form of governance. And it is legal. It's a legal document. It is something that you'd be able to look at in the voter's pamphlet. And as you read through it, it's kind of numbing with respect to all the pages that are there. But when you carefully look through it, there's some key things that you can pick up on and that do make a significant difference. The first is it does change the number of county commissioners proposed from 3 to 5. And that's important. The second thing that it proposes to do is it proposes to set up districts. So currently, the current board is elected at large. And so you could have any one of the board members living literally anywhere in Marion County. Right now, the beauty of our current board makeup is that we have one member that lives East Canyon, we have one member that lives South County, and one member that lives North County. Under the proposed charter, they would have by districts, and those districts would be set up entirely by the clerk after the election. So that's one thing, is it would be district by representation. No longer would you be represented by all 3 board members, but you would only be represented literally by one, unless you resided in one district and maybe had a business in a second district. But it changes the representation of how those board members, you would be able to interact with those board members. The other thing that it does is it increases the duties of the county clerk. It kind of takes the county clerk from being someone that's responsible for dealing with records and dealing with elections, and it almost puts heightened duties or almost additional powers or authority with respect to the county clerk, and that was purposefully drafted within the proposed charter. The other thing that it does, interestingly enough, is it eliminates the county treasurer's office. And the proponents want to see that the county treasurer be essentially taken out of an official elected position, and they would like to see those duties moved into the office of of finance, essentially, within the finance department of the county. The other thing that it does, interestingly enough, is the change in going from 3 to 5 members on the board does some very important things with respect to transparency, frankly. Under the current board structure, with only 3 board members, this board is required to have multiple public meetings. And as an example, we're being filmed by CCTV. Majority of the board's meetings are actually filmed by CCTV as well. And if they're not being filmed by CCTV, they're public meetings. They're open to the public. Under the proposed charter, you could have situations where important policy decisions, important decisions affecting all of us as residents of Marion County, could be done without a public meeting. And I think that's very important for your viewers to understand.